Hi, Mike Trout here, and I want to talk about suicide and how I nearly didn't make it to my birthday, which had happened yesterday. And I have two boys running around the house. I got to get to bed, but I figured it took me a while. I mean, I had to deal with the getting over it. That takes time, and I tell you a little bit what happened. I basically put a lot of energy as an entrepreneur. We get very focused on something that we're working on. In my case, it was the launch events for Foundups. I had taken off a number of years to care of my father who passed, who left me some money, and I figured I would gamble and take some of that money and basically find sponsors and have this great kickoff for my company Foundups. In 2000, why is there a fly in here? 2000, it's wintertime. In 2016, at DevCon 2, I had this amazing experience where investors wanted to invest $5 million. They flew me to South Africa, and they wanted to basically sign over the company, and they would know how much they were going to invest in it, but they were going to run with it. And I said no, and I walked away from the deal. Maybe it was a mistake. It was the Brandon Kersner and the Kersners in Cape Town. But I figured, why not make an event? So I thought I'd get sponsors and I'd cover it. And, I went and got the best locations, only not to get any sponsors. I was committed to 3 locations. Only then to think, oh, I will sell T-shirts. So I invested $15,000 in T-shirts and Yang. I'll break even, right? My connection is unstable. Wait. I had 160 people RSVP for my first event, which was this beautiful, beautiful. It's the Hyatt Regency in Osaka, looking down on DevCon 5, and 9,000 for the rental, everything else, and none of the 160 RSVPs, and I made it free because I figured, why stop people who didn't have the money to come to the event? And I thought I would fill the room. And I said, listen, if you believe in what I'm doing, if you believe in what we're trying to do, okay, then make a contribution. If you don't, great, enjoy the food. But the thing is, no one came. Absolutely no one out of 160. And I had the editor-in-chief of TechCrunch. I had folks from Consensus and everything else. I will probably end up sharing the list, right? It doesn't make sense. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that a certain individual, Ethereum Joseph, right there. Now, I deserve it in a way because I trolled him on LinkedIn. I trolled him. Wait for it says it. I trolled him on LinkedIn because he's connected to me. I sent invites to every employee of Consensus saying, thank Joe. Tell him to come and sponsor, be part of the party, right? So I can imagine he quickly blocked me, and I made a video where I laughed and I said, Joe, I just had to do it because see, Joe and I go back to 2016 where he jumped, from, I was on the elevator. He's like, you're that dude, you're that guy who says invented Ethereum. I said, no, I'm the guy who helped inspire it. But I'm going up to meet my investors. Are investing $5 million in Foundups. And when you come up and hang out with us, and I ended up basically spending an entire evening, 2 hours, 3 hours. I can't remember. It was a long time. Bob, who is the community managers of the Ethereum, was there. He's witness. I mean, there's lots of witnesses who were there. And next I flew off to South Africa. And the thing is, Joe Lubin knows my relationship with Ethereum. So my only, and you have to understand, I'm there, I've got all laid out. My investors, number 19 came down. with another guy and another guy. My investors came down from Tokyo to an empty fucking room, except for a few of my friends that were there and everything else. But they weren't, I was like, I should just seriously. I seriously was thinking in a very serious way. I have not had thoughts like this, ever, right? And I said, you know what, these fuckers, I'm going to fucking DevCon is right down there. I'm going to fucking go and I'm going to just fuck up DevCon because there'll be a murder. There'll be investigation. They'll know why did he commit suicide? And then there'll be people like no one came, and there'll be a list of 106. So I'm planning all this out, right? 160 people didn't show up. Why didn't show up? And have them interviewed and have it come out that it was Joe Lubin, Ethereum Joseph, that orchestrated all this. I said, fuck him. I'll get back on him. That's why he's the demon. So I'm walking out to my investors who came down from Tokyo, and I come back in, and my lovely one of my guys there, he knew that he came down from Tokyo to help me. Terry was there, and he goes, hey, look, I found some people. Now I understand I wasn't in a mind frame. I was like plotting my death, right? I was like in this deep, I was like, fuck this, dude. I wasn't thinking about my kids. I wasn't thinking about, the consequences. I was thinking about fuck it, just fuck it. I said, there's plenty of booze here. No one had any booze. I'll drink the booze. I'll get drunk and I will do it. That's how I was. And then I look over, and I was a group of 5 guys, and I'm going to put the video up on. I'm going to put the cover of the video of this live. I'll change it, and you can see the 5 guys, 5 Sahdus, right? 5 Sahdus. They didn't have shoes on. Now the thing is, at the time, I wasn't thinking straight, and I should have immediately realized that they weren't homeless people. But to me, they look like homeless people. I'm in Japan. You don't have Western-looking homeless people around, right? They were the entertainment group for Ethereum. It says unstable connection is unusable, unstable. Got too much bandwidth going on. So, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, talk to them. They're like, tell them, do your thing, talk to them. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck, is going on? And I was, and I said, fuck it, why not? So I said, yeah, come around the stage. And I was in my monk outfit and everything else. And I was on the cross. To me, it was crucifixion. I was crucified that night by, I believe, that demon, right? Crucified me. The Ethereum demon. Now again, Joe, maybe it just, no one came, right? And maybe this is all just, my mind, right? I could be wrong, but in my mind, now at the time I die, I will blame the fucking demon. So I start going, and they're like riveted, and the guy's like, we're permaculture, like, wow, and and it was the 5 guys was what I hoped would have been the room, right? What I saw with the 5 guys was, hey, I'm not crazy. What I'm trying to do makes sense to that group, to my tribe. How do I find my tribe? How do I find those folks? That's what I need to find, right? So the next day, so this is funny because the first day was up on the cross, on the Hyatt, looking down on the Ethereum, right? The second day, and I didn't plan this, I wasn't thinking this, but now in hindsight, the second event was in the dungeon. It was in the basement. It was in the grave, right? So it went from the crucifixion in my, in the symbolism to me, Undaudu died, right? He went in the ground and he arose. He awoke stronger and better and more focused than ever, and with a keen sight. And the takeaway I have on this is that, and I have to thank a guy called Chris. Chris, I met. He was he's one of the ancients, and Chris was basically in home arrest for 7 years. He was part of the poker before there's Bitcoin, the poker thing, and he was one of the. He's a genius guy, Chris, and he knows about Hal Finney. We sat down, and he lost millions, and he had his life for 7 years incarcerated. Here I am, upset that no one came for $40,000 to $50,000. So in the scope of things, he kind of he helped put things in perspective. And and that was part of my healing. I mean, just running and chance meeting him, and we hung out together, we drank together. I lost my car together. He found my car, and he was part of my resurrection. As the Sahdu. I think I'm now a Sahdu level 1. So it was the crushing of my ego. I was trying to fly when I couldn't walk. And I realized that why am I so fixated with the year 2020, right? What I need to do is build the tribe of Foundups. What I need to do is go back and spend my time in seeking out the tribe, right? And talking to the permaculture groups, talking to the to the Earthship groups, events, talking to them, talking about how we can fix capitalism, how we can transform it very easily now with the blockchain. And with my work, I mean, my work is complete except for some things need to be coded out, and working on getting Foundups House and actually start making money. I need to make money, all right? Okay, I need to make money, and the opportunity right now is to make money, and I already know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be going back into my strongest suit, which is sales, and I'm going to be selling CBD. My father died, so I have a story. I really believe that this CBD oil helped. My friend, Corey. It's funny because we're both, he actually transitioned from his company. His company's, for his shares in his company for sales, or so he has access to product. I have a house I can operate from. I've got scooters in Florida. I can spend 6 months building a network of distributors and building on Foundups. So, my goal is to make about $2,000 a week, and then put pretty much 90% of that into buying Bitcoin. I want to grow the Bitcoin Global Reserve Fund from 6 Bitcoin that I have right now to 100 Bitcoin. That's my goal, get to 100 Bitcoin. I'm not looking for contributions or donations. I'm going to fucking do it myself. I'm going to grow it to 100 Bitcoin. And then once I grow it to 100 Bitcoin, in the same time, I'm going to build Foundups TV, work on, I'm going to be on Periscope all the time. Fuck YouTube, right? On Periscope, they don't have all the bullshit. Periscope is what YouTube used to be. YouTube is dead, right? So I'm just making this because some things are easier to share and up there than Periscope, right? Because everyone has YouTube, and and I'm going to also focus on getting this guy in office, Andrew Yang, right? So Andrew Yang is who needs to be our president. Andrew Yang is right there under the hats, right? That's him right there. He's got his arms up. That's Andrew Yang on the Mayan zodiac. So I need to be helping him because he is a social capitalist. He may not call himself one, but he is one. UBI is social capitalism. Foundups is social capitalism, is basically transforming capitalism from a top down to a bottom up model. That's what Foundups is all about. And there's Indivisible. I'm in the heart of Trump land, so I'm right in the middle of the enemy, and I can start basically with my network that I have, that I built because around my father. I can start building, go back to things, and really not put myself in a position of trying to raise money, trying to, put my, anxiety, all this anxiety of being an entrepreneur. The startup is broken. The startup is evil. All right. The simple fact is, You know, over 99.97% of pre-seed startups fail. Hasn't changed. This is the thing I'm trying to change. Got you. Dun dun, my ninja. All right. All right. And out of that, you do get an angel investor, then 90% of those fail. And then let's say you do get to Series A, Series B, 75% of those fail. The startup is fucking broken, people. And the startup is what powers Silicon Valley. It's what powers Wall Street. Startup is basically that. It's what powers capitalism. So what I discovered in 2000 and started work on 2009, 2010, Occupy Wall Street, is simply by changing the startup, making it something else, right? Into called a Foundup. We can change everything. So we can start launching nonprofits or any organization, any business model can be a DANO, right? It's just in the bylaws and articles introduce a new kinds of stakeholder, and we can build the app for that. We can do the paperwork for that. We can say, hey, and you can start saying, I'm a DANO. I'm a DANO, right? We are a C Corp DANO. We are a nonprofit DANO. We're a B Corp DANO. We're an LLC DANO. We're whatever DANO, doesn't matter. Okay, all it does is introduces a new stakeholder that approves, basically, who's the CEO, who the new members are. That's it. They have no voting rights or anything else in the organization. They just approve. Okay, and you can, and it's just written in the articles and bylaws, so completely legal. Anyway, so that's it. I just want to talk about, and I really want to come public with this because, entrepreneur suicide is a real thing, and it's an ugly thing, and we don't talk about it, and we don't, share. And I'm hoping by me coming forward and say, listen, just in October, I nearly fucking jumped off the roof, literally jump off the roof, had it not been for these 5 Sahdus, right, who came, these 5 wonderful people, which I want to visit. They're Canadians, so I need to track them down. So when you see their picture, who are these, right? I'm going to put it out there. Who are these guys who saved my life, right? So these 5 guys saved my life. And it's funny because they weren't invited. It was a 28th floor, fucking posh thing. They were like, what the fuck are we doing here, right? They're looking around. And we laughed. I spent all night with them. I spent after that in their place. And then they were supposed to come the next night, and they didn't. They were just kind of like, angels that came in and saved me and then went off, like the 5 saviors. And the funny thing was, I'd hired these Cosmo girls to hand out flyers, and she is and the girl is I need to contact her and thank her that she saved me. I haven't told her yet. I'm gonna call her, send her a message and tell her, you saved me. You saved me from doing something really, really horrid. But please subscribe if you're watching. I'd like to get this channel alive, so please hit the bell. Please hit the follow. I've got 4,000 supposedly members, but they're useless because none of them hit the bell, so I need them to hit the bell. I haven't used this channel in so long, so I'm starting to use Foundups more, as a thing, right, as a relaunch. So so let me finish what I was saying with her. Was basically, she said, well, am I coming tomorrow? And I said no, because in my mind I was going to be dead tomorrow. I said no, and I think she sensed it. She, whether consciously or unconsciously, she's like, okay. And and I said, okay, well, I wish you the best, and I hope it works out well, because my investor, one of the investor guys that was there, the key guys, really love Cosmo. So, I'm like, well, at least, that happened. And on her way home, she heard them, right? Because she's impaired. He says, you need to go. And they told me, they said, she's told us you need to go. So I don't know if she, she sensed it in my voice or knew it, but some Cosmo girl, right, saved me by sending 5 Sahdus to talk me off the wall that was already in my mind. So I'm hoping that anyone else who, you know, that is going through a rough time, that, you know, you can share this video. And I was fortunate because it was my birthday yesterday. And had I acted on how I was feeling in that moment and not given it time, and that's the thing, time heals. It may be hard to realize that at the time, and that's why I was off social media for you know, since October. You know, I think you guys have probably noticed I wasn't doing any of my if you're on Facebook, any of my toilet jumps and toilet videos, my Trump trolling, I troll Trump, and so on, and because I was really kind of lost and not knowing what the future and trying to figure it out and everything else. So, but 21 minutes is a long time to be here. I appreciate you watching and being here. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, trying to think if I just shared this on Periscope too. So cool. It's on Periscope and it's on here. So anyway, on Sahdu.